Let's jump to Mike over there in St. Cloud, and then we'll go back to some of the other
Mike,
issues.
what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I've got some investment property that I've had for a while, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. And I was wondering, I heard something about somebody saying sell it and convert it with a 1031 or something, but I'm just kind of wondering what you would advise to put the money and get some gain on it.
Well, you mean gain or get some income from it?
Get some income, I guess.
Income, okay. Well, first of all, for our listeners that might not be familiar with what you just mentioned, a 1031 exchange allows you to defer the taxes on the gains that you might have in your current property and roll that over into a new property. A lot of people remember back in the day, which has changed, when you had your house, if you bought a house of equal or greater value, you can defer the gain on the sale of the house. Well, that's no longer the case. Just to clarify, if you're single, you can have $250,000 of profit. If you're married filing a joint return, you can have a $500,000 profit on the sale of your house and pay no taxes. But here we're talking about investment property. I presume this was something you held, like an apartment building or raw land or something?
It was a family home. I've had it for like 25 years.
And you rented it out? It was a rental property?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So what kind of gain do you have, just out of curiosity?
Well, what do you mean gain? You mean as far as...
You inherited the property?
Oh, no. I bought it at a young age.
You bought it at a young age. Okay. So what'd you pay for it, and what's the value today?
I paid $75,000 for it. It's probably worth $325 now.
Okay.
And you depreciated it over these years?
I did.
Okay. So then you have what's called recapture when you go to sell it as well. So they recapture the depreciation that you took.
Right. So you might be looking at up to $300,000 worth of taxes on this deal. All right. So for our listeners that might not be familiar with what 1031 exchange is, as I said, it allows you to take the gain and roll it into another property. This is not do-it-yourself time. You need what's called a qualified intermediary. You have to identify the property before you sell this one, and you certainly don't want to take the money and then look for the property. That's a way to do it. You can, once again, roll it into any other kind of investment property, whether it's raw land or an apartment building or an office building, a shopping center, whatever it might be, even a house, you can do that. Now, your real question is, okay, I'm going to get this money, got to pay taxes on it, and then what can I do for income, right?
Right.
All right. What do we do, Aaron?
Well, it depends on what your income needs are. So this goes into doing some in-depth planning to figure out, what other assets you might have, what the need for income is, and then how much risk you need to take in order to generate the income or growth that you need for the long term so that you can continue to live and do the things that you want to do. So this is kind of a planning opportunity. That's kind of a loaded question of what kind of income that you need, because unless you know exactly what your expenses are, what you're going to get from Social Security, what your salary is, or if you're still working, what your spouse's salary is, if they may still be working. And there's a lot of different factors that go into how much risk you should be taking with those dollars in order to generate income.
And then you want to factor in taxes and inflation. And what you're doing, Mike, is a typical thing that virtually everybody does. They've got some money and they said, okay, if I could generate this much income from it, that'd be great. But really what you want to do is think about the rest of your life. How much income do I really need today, and how much of this money can I set aside for growth for the future to give me more income in the next 5, 10, 15 years? And that's what planning is all about. And this is the mistake that virtually everybody makes when it comes to investing. They do the investing first and sometimes don't do the planning at all. Good investing requires good planning. And we'd be more than happy to talk to you about what we do, offer you a no-obligation visit. Come by our office or you can do a virtual meeting. And we'd be glad to tell you about our services and tell you what a fee would be to really answer that question for you. Because you're talking about several $100,000 here. It's worth spend a few bucks to find out exactly what you need to do. Stay away from those free lunch and dinner seminars. I want to tell you that first and foremost. It's interesting, Mike, on the way in, I was listening, as I do every Saturday, listening Saturday and Sunday when I'm in the car, listen to other talk shows, financial talk shows, if you will, and none of them are financial call-in shows. Did you ever notice that, Aaron?
Yeah, they're all infomercials.
They're all infomercials. Nobody will take the calls on the air like we do, like we've been doing for 30 years. And they're all out there somewhere. And this one I'm listening to this morning, they're talking about the ticking time bomb on your IRAs and your 401ks. And, call for this, call for this checklist. and we'll fix you up. And what you need to do is cash in that IRA, cash in that 401k, pay the taxes today, and then get tax-free income in the future. Well, you're only going to do that one of two ways. You're going to do that and put it into a Roth, pay all those taxes today and get hammered, or you're going to cash it out and put it into a life insurance policy, which is where the big commissions are. And neither one of those strategies in the long run makes any sense. But it's a great way to make commissions, and it's a great way to scare the heck out of people about your ticking tax time bomb. So you want to stay away from that kind of stuff as well. Mike, I wish we could give you a quick off-the-cuff recommendation as to where to put your money, but it'd be like calling a doctor and saying, Doc, what kind of pills should I take? And we'd love to work with you. You're the kind of client that we work with day in and day out, providing financial advice and investment advice for a fee. But in order to advise you properly, as Aaron said, there's a number of things that need to be looked at. What your income needs are today, what your tax situation is, what you're going to get from Social Security, and what other major expenses are going to be coming up in your life. Things like what, Aaron?
Well, it depends. It depends on where you are in your life. But things, if you have children, maybe college. If you don't have children, maybe you're buying cars, or maybe you have to pay for long-term health expenses. There's lots of different things that people don't factor in when they think about retirement, and we've done thousands of financial plans. We've sat down, and there's no situation that I know of that we haven't seen, that we haven't discussed, that we haven't worked through with our clients. And so we're a great source of information and knowledge and wealth of knowledge to be able to help you in your particular situation. So like Joe said, more than happy to help you out. If you're interested, you can go to our website, financialgroup.com, get some more information about us, and be happy to meet with you.
And the one thing about coming to our office, you come into a financial advisor the first time, there's been a lot of stuff written about this, and I can see it too sometimes when folks come to us, they kind of come to us kind of a little sheepishly. It's like going to the priest for the first time to confession, or going to your doctor for the first time, or your dentist that you haven't seen in years. And, you feel a little guilty about it. Folks, I want to tell you, as Aaron said, there's nothing that we haven't seen. We are here to help people. And don't,
you can call in right now on 844-580-WDBO. Sorry, guys, we are up against it. We got a break. 844-580-9326. 844-580-WDBO. We're planning tomorrow
today
with the Certified Financial Group on WDBO.